Judicial Watch. Tom, let's start with first this Ukrainian role in meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. There seems to be some sort of hidebound orthodoxy suggesting that just did not happen, despite obvious evidence and irrefutable evidence, in point of fact, and most of it reported first by John Solomon.
Well, it's part of a pattern by the coup cabal. We were working with the Russians to take out Trump, so let's accuse Russia of working with Trump. We were working with the Ukrainians to take out Trump, so let's accuse Trump of intimidating or improperly coordinating with the Ukrainians on targeting Joe Biden over his corruption related to Ukraine. This document is really an unrivaled abuse of power by the House of Representatives. They have this awesome power of impeachment, and they've chosen to abuse it for the petty goal of protecting Joe Biden over his corruption. They spend some time in there trying to defend the indefensible on Joe Biden and Ukraine. And I tell you, I don't know if this is going to convince any more Democrats to the degree they need the votes to vote for impeachment, because this is just a written version of the Gossip Girl impeachment hearings we read about the other day, or we heard the other day, a few weeks ago.
Right. I've been wanting to share with the audience the Trump statement on Schiff today, and if we could go to that soundbite. This, the president on Schiff, and showing some frustration, I'll put it that way, with the Intel chair.
I think he's a maniac.
What would you want to learn if he testified?
I think Adam Schiff is a deranged human being. I think he grew up with a complex for lots of reasons that are obvious. I think he's a very sick man, and he lies. Adam Schiff made up my conversation with the president of Ukraine.
And this, Adam Schiff, on Rachel Maddow's show, I think it is revelatory.
That's not the end of our investigation. So even while judiciary does its work, we will continue investigating. We're continuing to issue subpoenas. We're continuing to learn new information. That work goes on. But we also feel a sense of urgency. This is a president who has sought for intervention in U.S. elections twice now.
And there is Schiff going on. And there is also rising above Capitol Hill a scent of doubt about the radical Dems and their chosen path here. Do you see any sign that they are about to back off from what has turned out to be a disastrous political decision to play pretend impeachment inquiry?
I don't. I think the speeding up of it suggests that they only think they can win if they get a quick vote. Because if the voters get to participate more in the process, if more information comes out, the FISA-gate report comes out, which will demonstrate more misconduct, I think the political calculus changes. And they are in an urgent rush, and the urgency is you've got the Iowa caucuses a month or two away, and they don't want to get in the way of that. This is about as a political a document as anything that the DNC puts out on a day-to-day basis. This is an embarrassment to the House. And if they're honest Democrats, they ought to be asking Adam Schiff, why have you been lying to us for a year, 2 years, 3 years about the goods you had on Donald Trump? You never had anything, and there's nothing in these documents other than gossip and innuendo. And I do see, by the way, Lou, they did manage to purloin, I don't know how, through subpoena or through a leak, Rudy Giuliani's phone records and further abuse of the president's constitutional rights.
Absolutely. The judiciary hearing tomorrow, call it what you will, featuring 4 legal scholars to what? To say that they have some sort of high view of impeachment here that permits this kind of scurrilous, low-life behavior on the part of Adam Schiff and his cronies?
You can have all the scholars you want. It's not going to justify an abuse of the Constitution, an abuse of the president's due process rights. They've already decided to convict him, at least in the impeachment process here. And now they're telling him, well, you can have the lawyers show up for your sentencing. This is an abuse of power. I'm beginning to think that maybe the Republicans should not show at these hearings. They're so outrageous in terms of abuse of the Constitution.
I couldn't agree with you more, Tom, to attach any legitimacy to this farce and effort to overthrow the President of the United States is indeed, to me, lamentable and perhaps will be regrettable on the part of the Republican Party should they fail to at least express their deep opposition to what is a clear effort to overthrow the President of the United States. Tom Fitton, as always, good to see you. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.